And then came You Don't Know Like I Know.
Great song.
Well, it didn't hurt nothing. Now, Isaac had a monopoly on Sam Moore. I really liked the stuff coming out of United Artists. I like those songs. Did they promote it? No, because you know why? I was a junkie. I didn't like that because it burned. First time I could make love and all that stuff. Whoa, boy! And that was the beginning.
Let's start here because I haven't seen the new Stax documentary. I heard you did see it. You did see it?
I did.
How do you feel about it? Because I heard you weren't totally happy with it.
Billy, the first two nights were I could accept, and I did accept. But the last two nights, from my standpoint, I wasn't very pleased about it. I don't think when you're doing something like that musically, you want to try to stay away from the politics and the racism and everything else. You want to focus much more into the music. How it begun, how it revolves, and not all the stuff about who killed Malcolm, why they killed Martin and Ku Klux Klan. That's not giving information and talking about the music for the young people that's going to be watching.
Yeah.
And that's my only take on it.
I mean, my impression as a fan of Stax is it's such a testament to how music can bring people together.
Yes. I tell you, Billy, and I looked at this yesterday, looking at the book, and there are people that could have got call-outs like Luther Ingram, the Soul Children, believe it or not, Lil Milton, the Staples Singers, Arthur Connolly, who has sweet soul music. Come on, Billy. I mean, you gonna focus in on who killed Martin instead of doing your thing about these people that's in the industry of music.
Yes, sir.
From my view, I was not totally happy about it.
How'd you feel how they dealt with your guys' story?
They, from the time we came from Roulette Records and trying to get a record deal, working up until we got signed to Atlantic, and to tell the story how we got signed to Atlantic, that was interesting. Now, there were some parts in there that is a contradictory thing, because one person is saying that Sam and Dave came down to Memphis, Stax. No one wanted to record them and wanted to be giving us a deal. And before that, it says that Jerry Wexler from Atlantic sent us down there. So, that's confusing.
Yeah.
You can't if you're gonna say something positive or negative, be honest and tell the truth.
Yeah.
That's what I don't say things to make yourself or whatever look good. Tell the truth and be honest and let the cards fall where they may.
Yes,
and
sir.
that was my take on it, Billy.
Okay, so a quick story about myself. So my father was born in Southern Illinois, and they moved up to Chicago. My grandmother got divorced. My dad was quite young, and my grandmother ended up working as a maid and living in a poor neighborhood. My dad told the story of how he fell in love with music because they lived across the street from a gospel church on the south side of Chicago.
Oh, wow.
In the 1950s. And he used to go into the church and listen You know, and for all we know, he was listening to Sam Cooke or whoever was in the circuit around that point. So I like
Right.
so this forever stuck with me because he loved black music to his gut. He basically would tell me,
wow.
he would tell me as a little boy, white people not so great. If you want to listen to real music, you listen to this kind of music. That's what I grew up on. I grew up on Stax. You know, I grew up on bands like the Shy Lights and things like this. So I want you to, if you could talk, because I know how important the church was for you in terms of your singing.
Billy, I would have to agree with your father. As opposed, now the reason, let me explain to you why. I'm not gonna be putting down the today's music. That's not in that's not in the conversation here. But where I agree with him is back in the days of what your father was listening to and what you became lover of, that was music. You had, if your father lived in the 50s and living in Chicago, that meant that he heard Mahalia Jackson, he heard the Caravan, he heard the Cook family, which is Sam and his brothers and his sisters. He heard, oh my God, a lot of gospel, mostly other staple singers. So your father was right. That was music in those days. We didn't have what they have today. Today, back in that time, if you went on stage to do a show, a performance, you better bring your A game, because whoever was ahead of you could and would embarrass you to the point that no, your father's right. It would be the person that would be ahead of you would embarrass you with your own headline. You're headlining and they're coming on as a guest singer, and they're embarrassing you. So today I found out they don't use. Because I said to my wife, I said to Joyce, I see Beyonce and Taylor Swift and all these people doing these shows, and I said, but I don't see a band. And she said, Sam, she said, I don't know how to tell you this, but I'm going to tell you, they don't use bands any longer. I said, live bands? She said, no. Well, they do tracks.
They do and they don't, but she's right, yeah.
Wow, and I'm going, what? Well, I would like to, if I was going to go to a show today, and I say if, preposition, if I was going, I want you to show me something, Billy. I mean, if you're gonna, show me what you got. I mean, make me earn my time of watching you up there on that stage. I don't want to see a lot of dolls and fake penises and all that stuff. I don't want to see that stuff. I'm not into that, Billy.
I'm not into fake penises either.
No, I'm not into Billy. No, I'm not into that. And I don't want to see the ladies on the floor and all that stuff. I want to hear, but, and also again, I come back to her and we discussed this. I said, do you think we're going to ever, because there's no question in my mind that there are still good singers out here. There are still good singers out here. But what, and I asked, I said, do you think we're going to ever hear any good music today? She says, no. Now that, and when you talk to her, maybe sometime in the near future, you can debate her. But she said she doesn't think the music is going to be like it good as it was back then. What
Well,
do you think?
well, I think when you guys first hit it big, there was a lot of fake
Yeah,
artificial music in the time. You know what I mean? Like
yeah,
cheesy sweet pop, and you guys broke through with real gut bucket from the heart
yeah,
soul music, like literally from the
yeah,
soul. So I
yeah,
think
yeah,
there's
yeah,
always that opportunity when it gets too perfect, too fake, that somebody comes through from the heart. And
yeah,
I think
yeah.
from a spiritual point of view, God always sort of seems to manifest the thing you least when you least expect it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Amen. I totally agree with that because I want to hear your heart. I don't, I want to hear, I want to see you sweat. I want to see you, yeah, I want to see you do CL Franklin.
Right? I get
I
it.
want to see, yeah, I want to see you, I want to see you dance all over that place singing and whatnot. Did not be a clown because that's to me that's not clown. But if the Holy Ghost hits you, you're gonna dance. You're gonna do the holy dance, and we did that. I did that. David, I did that a lot. I got Joyce. She doesn't understand. I never danced. I did the holy dance. She said, "Yeah, okay."
As a dance.
At the dance, she said,
There's footage.
But if I pay 40 or 50 or 75 or 1700 to see you, I want you, man, I want you to lay it out on me. Which that's saying something now because that's not going to happen. So,
Yes, sir.
you know,
So
we'll move on.
I know there's this story where you got a gig emceeing, and that's how you ended up meeting Dave, and there's that whole story. But I want to know, how old were you when you got that gig and you started singing professionally for the first time?
I was probably in my 20s. Yes,
Really?
yeah, I was probably in my 20s. Yeah. I was, I think, I was out of, this was up in the 60s. And, you know how young kids at that time, Billy, try to impress one another. And it was a gang of us, well, there were 3 or 4 of us together. And being the smallest one in the group, we passed by this club, and there was a sign in the glass window that said hiring MC singer tell comedians plus. So one of the guys with us said, "Hey Sam, I bet you won't try that." And I said, "What?" He said, "Right there." So I looked and I said, "Oh, yeah. Well, I'm a gospel singer, and but you don't dare me because I'm gonna take the dare." So I walked up, Billy, and there was at the time there was Mr. LaMello, the owner's father was sitting at the door, and I walked up and I said to him, I said, "I'd like to get that job." He said, "What job?" I said, "Right there in the window." Well, when you look at me at that time, you would question. You're gonna go, "Really? Right? What is your what is your qualification?" "Oh, yeah. Well, yeah. You." "Yeah, well, yeah, I've emceed where? Well, gospel shows and shows on the beach." "Okay, what shows on the beach? What's your name?" "Sam." "Okay. Sam, what shows you emceed on the beach?" "Well, Billy, I got myself in a trick bag." I said, "Oh, I ate the Eden Rock and, you know, and who did you MC for at the Eden Rock?" Uh, uh, oh yeah, I MC for Frank Sinatra. Frank Sinatra. Now, Billy, we're not that far out of segregation, okay? Come on. You know, that's why I said I got myself in a jam. He said, "Sir, Frank Sinatra, yes, sir." And who else? Bobby Darin. Bobby Darin. Really? Yes, sir. Uh-huh.
At least you went for the best.
And
At least you went for the best, right? You started
I
at the top.
did. I had read this in the newspaper. Entertainers come in town.
Yeah.
So I didn't know I was getting myself. So he said, "Okay, I'll give you a tryout. When could you do a tryout? Can you come in and do a tryout?" I said, "Yes, sir. Sure. When?" I said, when you like for me?" He said, "How about tomorrow night?" Now, Billy, there was no way. I didn't have clothes for rock and roll show or nothing like that. So I took one of my gospel suits and cut the legs to make them like
Little Lord
shorts.
Fauntleroy, kind of.
Yeah, and coat, shirt and tie. And I went in and he said, and then he gave me a list, Billy. He gave me a list. He said, "This is what you do. When the music starts, you come up and they're going to you introduce yourself." "Yes, sir." This is going to be amateur night." "Yes, sir." "Okay. Now, what you do, introduce yourself, then you sing a song. And after you sing a couple of songs, then you introduce the band and you start with the amateur hour." "Okay." "Yes, sir." And you tell a couple, you say you can tell jokes. "Yes, sir." "Okay, good. Okay. This is a good tryout now. You don't have the job, Sam. You're doing a tryout." "Yes, sir." "Okay." I went up and I knew two songs. I knew "You'll Never Smile Again," and I knew "Danny Boy."
The Irish classic.
Billy, don't ask me. Billy, don't ask me about another song. That's what I knew. And I sang those two songs for a week. I told the same joke. Well, they weren't jokes. I thought they were jokes when I said knock, knock, and the audience go, "Who's there?" So eventually the owner walks up to me, calls me in, and he said, "My father say you're doing a tryout?" I said, "Yes, sir." He said, "Okay. I'm the son of my father is Mr. LaMello." "Okay." I said, "Yes, sir. Listen, I want to say something." "Okay." I thought he was going to give me a big, "Come on, I'm going to make it." He said, "First of all, you sound stupid. You only sang two songs. You don't know any other two songs?" No, sir." "Uh-huh. Okay, cut those out. Next thing, you're not funny.
Sorry.
In fact, I'm losing money because people are hearing this stuff and they're walking out or going to the bathroom. They don't want to hear knock knock jokes. Just cut that out. By the way, I tell you what, let you go up on the front and you take down the names of people that want to be on amateur hour. Don't call you stupid. He did. He said, "You sound real stupid." He said, I love the way you phrase and sing. You're a little loud, but that's okay." What kind of singing?" I said, he said, I said, "I say gospel." He said, "Oh, okay. Well, what kind of gospel?" I said, "Gospel. Gospel, God." It's okay. Well, don't sing gospel no more. Don't do that no more. Just be able. So that's how I started, Billy. I went up to the front, and that's how I met Dave, because I was up front taking names of people that wanted to be on the amateur hour, and
Now,
that's how sort of how the beginning of starting Sam and Dave.
when had you heard Dave sing before that, or was that the first time?
No, that was the first time. I had heard about this young man that was a great, believe it or not, Billy, I heard that from word of mouth that this was the next Sam Cooke. That's what I heard.
Right.
And I hadn't seen him. But when he did come out there, and I was taking down the names, and he came up and I said, and your name? He said, Dave. I said, okay. I'm pretty sure you have a last name. Yeah. What's your last name? Prater. I said, what? Prater. I said, spell it. So I said, oh, Prater. He says, no, Prater. I said, oh, okay. Fine. We ain't going to fight over name calling, you know. So I said, what are you singing? So I waited. He said, I'm doing Dog and Me. I'm going to be doing Dog and Me Around. I said, oh, really? Okay. So I put it down. And the rest, Billy, is history. It went from sugar to you know what after that. And that's how Sam and Dave unfortunately became for the next 21 to 22 years, Sam and Dave.
Now, did you feel musically connected, or did you, like, what was it about the connection? Obviously people loved when you guys sang together. That's evident, but what was your impression of him musically?
Listen, it was a job that was put on me, not by me. I didn't hire Dave and get Dave to come. Johnny LaMello is the one, and the guy behind the bar, that was a bartender by the name of Pee Wee Wilson, that got us together. And Johnny, when Dave did what he did on stage with the microphone, and I got nervous and I was trying to get out of the way, or whatever you want to call it, and the audience bit. They thought that was the act. The audience actually put it together, because Johnny went from there when they started screaming, when he and I both went to the floor to get the mic. Pick the mic up.
Yeah.
It was like a Joe Tex thing, sort of thing, you know, without using your foots and stuff. So that's actually what happened.
Your impression of him as a singer first. Because I want to unpack that a little bit.
At that time, it was okay, because there was no plan, there was no strategy. And we were doing covers. So we were doing we were doing songs like Don't Play That Song for Me, and things of that sounded gospel-y, like Sam Cooke stuff, Jackie Wilson stuff. We never harmonized, Billy. And that was proven to me by Isaac Hayes. We never harmonized, we blended, but we never harmonized and call a response. So that's when I say call and response, that doesn't mean that that doesn't give credit to being impressed. If I sang something or said something, he would chase me behind it or say what I would say or make up his own. I want to listen today after 20 some odd years for the first time. All those years that he and I performed up and down the road and over out of the country, I never really listened to Dave that much. I really didn't, Billy. Now that may sound a little chesty, but no, I really didn't listen. And Joyce can confirm that, because she was with me at the time. And I was on stage, and I was going through a thing, drug-wise. And Billy, I was singing, and for some reason or another, I was getting sick. I needed to get some drugs. that's when I stopped singing that much and let Dave take over, him lead on a song. And I went, not understanding, I didn't pay attention until then that I had done it on a hot mic. I said, he can't sing. And Joyce, I don't know whether she still has it now, but she had it on a recorder, a camera or something, whatever she had. And I went, he can't sing. That's the first time I had ever heard him out of 21 years. That's true. I mean, I'm telling the truth, Billy.
I believe you.
That sounds like comparing myself, but it's not. No, I never listened to Dave.
But what's sort of shocking is maybe not the right word, but you guys had so much success, especially when you went to Stax. Were you surprised by the reaction to both of you, or did you see it more as your thing and he was with you? Does that make sense?
I didn't have that in mind. Thank you for asking that question. I had not in my world of thought to do a Sam and Dave. I had my mind set on doing songs like, watch how stupid I was now. I was thinking along the lines of doing stuff like Jackie Wilson, Sam Cooke, Benny King, Louis John, Clyde McFadden, pretty
Right.
songs. I had that in mind, having that in mind. And we were called in and we were introduced to Hayes and Porter, by the way, we were introduced to that day. We went into the studio and Jim Stewart, the owner, said to me, to David and myself, that they were going to be our producers. First of all, I'm upset because I've seen how Isaac is dressed. That's a letdown right there. This man's got these clothes that he's wearing that does not garner anything of the thinking of the way that of the songs I want to do.
I see.
I would like to do. So what I did, we went in and they started playing down some songs, and they got to some songs, and Billy, right there, I kid you not, right there, tears started coming down the side of my face. I started crying. I said, I want to go home. This is not going to work. Well, Billy, we had, there was a failure with roulette and everything, and locally down here.
Was that with Morris Levy? Was that the roulette under Morris Levy?
Oh yeah, Billy. It was. He didn't know what to do with us, and I don't think he cared about doing anything. We were. Listen, he didn't see no reason to make money with us, because if you want to call it a style, the way we were singing like gospel singers, that was not in his. Come on, he had like Count Basie, Joe Williams, O.C. Smith. There's people like that. The people that didn't even come near of the things that he was making money with and, doing his thing with. So no, that was a failure there. So finally getting a deal and not having somebody to really speak up for us to make the deal, I really felt let down. I really was upset and hurt, and I really wanted to go back home and come back and maybe try again to get a record deal, a gospel record deal.
I hear you. You're in Stax. You're meeting these guys many names we all know now: Isaac Hayes, Booker T, Steve Cropper, Duck Dunn. That crew, right? That's the crew. And Jim Stewart was the label owner, right?
Yeah.
So
and his sister, yeah.
Yeah. So So how do we get from you standing there crying, you know what I mean, to making hits with these same people?
Okay. And I came to find this out in the book that I was reading. First of all, I did not know. I didn't know we were important. I didn't think we were important enough to be there. But I didn't have enough gumption to. I didn't have no manager to go to say, "Hey, look, I don't want to. I don't want to sign with the. I don't want to sign with these guys." You know. I didn't know that we at the time. I knew we had signed with Atlantic, so I didn't know to call Jerry or Ahmed. You know, anybody. I didn't know. I just choked back everything, and they played songs. And I found out, Billy, that if they hadn't have come up with something, eventually they were going to call Atlantic and drop us. They were going to drop us, Billy. And the first thing came to mind because we had a song called Jody Ryder. It was sort of like a country song, which I intentionally sang it country. And I remember Jim Stewart saying, "What are you doing?" And I'm going, singing. He said, "They don't want you to sing it like that. They want you to sing it like they have it put down." Well, I did that intentionally because I didn't like the song. So we passed. So we passed that, Billy. And then came You Don't Know Like I Know.
Great song.
Well, yeah. It didn't hurt nothing. Now, you don't know like I know it. Okay, all right. Sound like I started liking it. But now, I wasn't all that gun-ho about all the songs. I wasn't all that gun-ho about Hold On, I'm Coming, and really wasn't gun-ho about Soul Man. But I went along with it. And the next thing I knew, I didn't get gun-ho about anything until maybe Dave and I had been together about 19 years when I started appreciating what we were doing.
That's crazy.
Yeah, yeah. Incidentally, yeah.
Were you not feeling the band? What didn't you like about it musically?
The thing about it, I was so accustomed to doing the holy dance and singing gospel till I took that part of what I was doing in church and carried it on stage. And locally, I was doing that here in Miami. Well, we're going and doing shows now overseas. What did I do? I covered myself by doing this, Billy. I covered this. I went out and to make things better, to cover, I put together a 21-piece orchestra for the stage to dance. I was standing on the corner here in Miami, and I saw the Florida A&M team. The one everybody talks about, the fast-stepping Florida A&M, and I stood there and I looked, Billy, and I mean, they were stepping, and I said, that's what I want. I want the horn swinging. I want that fast step. I want you playing, and I want that to be, if I could put that together with what I hear with Duck and Isaac and Al Jackson and the horn line, and I know you understand. I'm not bringing up another name of Steve Cropper. He was not integral part of what Isaac was trying to put together.
Was Isaac Hayes the person you most connected with musically in Stax's world?
Oh God, yes. Oh God, He taught me not how to sing, Billy. No. He taught me how to properly do it. He knew I had that gospel-y thing. Okay, what you do, Sam, what I want to do it. He would do this at first. A verse, a chorus, and then go back to the top. Well, that was not long enough to put a record out. So what they did, they had to go back and put a beginning, a middle, and an end and go back to the top, and then you ad-lib out. Well, that's how Isaac saw it, and that's how the Sam, or you're singing, if they would have sung where Isaac put him and wanted him to sing, then that would have been harmonizing. But for some reason or another, I don't know, today, I don't know, people got into Dave's head that he could sing those high notes and all those keys, and he doesn't understand. Those were, to me, they were not high notes. It was just a matter of fact.
Yeah, you
singing.
just sang up there anyway.
I just sang up there anyway. I even talk up there anyway, So anyway, to move on here, that's how David put it all. Isaac put it together. Well, when Booker T would come into town, he did like. He played on, he played on May I Baby. He played a tuba. He played the tuba. And I'm not too sure whether we ever recorded any of his material. I doubt that, because he was in Indiana, University of Indiana, going to school. But on the summertime, and if we was there, it was always Isaac. And I connected with him, sitting down at the piano or standing, and he would sing Dave's part down to Dave. Dave, this is where I want you to go.
Right.
Sam, this is where, I'm not going to tell you where to go. What you do, you find your place.
Yeah.
That's how he would put it. Find your place. And that's what I would do, Billy. I just find a place. So if I open up with a song, sing it down first. Don't be yelling and screaming. Sing it. Middle of the song, sing it. End of the song, sing it. Build up a pyramid. Go back up to the top, and then now, Sam, ad-lib. Do all your Sam stuff. Dave, you follow him. Do whatever, and
Wow.
that was Sam and Dave.
Wow, interesting. So just indulge me, because I love Stax music so much. To me, it's just so much great music. I mean, it's incredible if you listen to how many great artists, how many great songs, how many great performances.
Yeah.
So indulge me. What was the typical session? You guys are behind sort of a soundproof thing, so you can see the band, but you're isolated. Is that how it worked?
We're behind the board, the microphone, two mics. We saw Steve Cropper. That's how player Steve came up, because he was standing right in front of me. I saw Isaac. Isaac put himself in a place I could see him. David would get over in there, and it was a lot of, and I guess he takes credit for showing me how to sing. That was not true. What he was doing. I was leaving. He was listening what Mr. Stewart was telling him. Sam is leaving too many gaps, and that's how player Steve came about. I was leaving. I'm a soul man, and that's it. And no, fill in that gap. And Isaac was saying, fill in that gap. Don't leave that open space like that, because it's empty. So as I was trying to find something, Billy, I blurted out, "Play it, Steve." That's all I could come up with. And and believe it or not, that was almost refused, because when we went up into the engineering room, Jim Stewart said to me, "Sam, why did you say play it, Steve? Because it looked like you counting on, why you didn't say play it Isaac or play it so play." And I couldn't give Jim an answer. I said, you said fill the gap, Jim. I said, Steve was standing there, and I just saw him, and I just blurted it out.
But from your vantage point, you could see the whole band, or maybe just part of the band?
Just part.
Oh,
just part at the time. Right. Yeah, just part. For a long time, it was only the rhythm section. Billy, when we first started recording, it was only that we were recording with the whole band. We had horns and everything in the studio. But as times went on, what was happening was this. Isaac would lay down tracks because it was taking too long and I'm not saying this to be rude or nasty, I'm just being honest. It was taking, Dave had a lisp, and it was destroying the mic coming over the system. He would say a lot, and they did everything they could, even put putty, chewing gum in his mouth to cut that, and they had to stop this. So what Isaac came up with, after you cut the track, that is when we learned that what he was doing, he would work overnight to get that whisper sound out of the songs. And so that was getting too much, and it was costing a lot of money, because Atlanta started saying something, my God, it takes that long to record one song? Well, yeah, it did, Billy,
When you created, obviously, some of these songs, which are now classics, did you have a sense that they were going to be hits and classics, or were they just other songs in the other songs you were recording?
I liked, you know what? Can I say this? You ever heard the name Homer Banks?
I do know the name. I don't know where or how.
He did a Johnny Taylor's Who's Making Love and stuff like that.
Yeah, Who's Making Love to Your Old Lady while you're out making love, right?
He wrote most of the stuff for at Stax. He wrote for Sam and Dave, You Don't Know What You Mean to Me, and stuff like that. And I'm not too sure he didn't write other stuff that David may have taken credit for writing. But hey, that's up for controversy. Too late. Let's pass it. He would have been, if I had the power at the time after those hits, I would have chosen him as my lead writer with Isaac. Billy, he was a hell of a writer. I love his stuff. All the stuff that David wrote. I sort of liked some of the stuff. I like Hold On, I'm Coming. Something Is Wrong. I like that. I Thank You. I like that. It was just so much I could do with Soul Man at the time, because I'm now finding out it was not a rhythm and blues song, Billy. It was like a Dylan writing a song.
Yeah.
It was one of those kind of songs.
I hear you.
I didn't know that. I thought it was a song, get the girls and all that. But no, it was Isaac, and it was, I found out, it was a character song. A song
interesting. Never knew that.
Yeah, Billy, don't feel that. I felt I did not know that myself until later on. I read that that's what the song was all about.
Wow. Um,
Yeah,
so in terms of choosing material, did you have some say over it, or was it basically like, here's the song you guys are going to record, and we're going to trust Isaac, whoever's kind of running it, to point us in the right direction?
there were our producers. My writing days, I had writer's block. I had stopped writing ever since I left here, so I had no inkling to write, and I left it up to at the time. I left it up to David to write, and I would go by what Isaac would lay down at the piano in the rhythm section. I had no inklings about writing songs because I don't think I would have written if I would have didn't have writer's blocks. I don't think I would have written that way anyway. I
Right.
don't think a soul man would have come into play. I don't think so.
Can
I'm
you
I'm pretty sure not.
can you appreciate why people still love that music so deeply? Is that something you've kind of grown to understand?
I understand it now. I understand what I think was leading up to with Soul Man. Hold on, I'm coming. Yeah, I appreciate, because you know what, Billy? I found out also through reading and listening to others. Hold on, I'm coming was recorded by many others. Hold on, I'm coming, like Bill Cosby, Willie Nelson. I mean, come on, man. I mean, I was appreciative to hear people sing that song. I'm going, whoa, ain't that something? The Soul Children, they did it. Aretha Franklin, from what Joyce tells me, I don't know what she is, but she told me that Aretha Franklin got a Grammy behind "Hold On, I'm Coming."
Huh.
Hey, buddy. Hey, partner. Can you believe? Hey, we laid out some good stuff, didn't we?
Yeah, it's interesting because to me, at least from a musician point of view, it's
Yeah,
it's the combination of your vocal against that kind of Memphis gut bucket feel that makes it
yeah, yeah,
so electric.
yeah. Well, you know what? You go back. Let's go back. Let's go back a little. Let me take you back a little bit. If it don't be for the bass line of a Doug Dunn, the drumming, laying down the drum of Al Jackson, man, if it don't be for them and Isaac Hayes putting that together, Billy, there would be no Sam and Dave. Sorry. Nope, wouldn't have been.
Yeah.
This man is the one, he gets all the credit for that. He's the one that laid, and this is a man that basically didn't read the music. He was doing that thing by ear and heart and feel.
Yeah.
He would take the horns and he would say, "This is what I want you to do." So. Hey, I love Dwayne, John, do this. So. Lay that horn line down. Okay, now you didn't have to tell Al Jackson. Al Jackson was the best at holding it right there, not above, not under, holding it in place. He wouldn't let, and if you listen to some of the live things that Sam and Dave was doing, you hear me say, "Al about to kill me over here." He would, because I wanted to come out. You know, I don't sing the song damn enough now. I ad-libbed my brains out, and I'm looking at Al, and Al is just holding it. And guess what? My wife takes it upon herself to listen to that, and she tells, at that time she would tell, Just stay there. Don't let him go. Let's keep it right. Don't do nothing phony. Don't do no run the roads. No, bang on him. Stick it up in his butt. And I'm going, Joyce, stay out of this. And that came from Al Jackson.
Yeah.
Billy, if you don't mind, I'm gonna tell you something. I'm gonna share something with you that came to mind. And I never share. Some of this I started with Joyce. Sammy Davis should have been bigger than Big. Maybe not. I'm not talking about the Taylor Swifts or the Beach Boys. I'm talking about bigger than they were. Okay, we were big, but we should have been bigger. But we didn't have the right connection. Management, attorneys, agencies, nobody actually gave a damn. I mean, come on. We were pushed around. We came up at the time that segregation was just, well, if Martin hadn't have gotten killed, I think it would have been better. But at the time, it was just crossing over into integration, if you want to call it that today, because segregation is going to always be around. I'm sorry. But we just didn't have the right instruments and tools to make Sam and Dave bigger than they really should have been.
Yeah, which is crazy because you had, I think, 10 top 20 hits in a row.
Yeah, Billy, we did. You're absolutely right. I was reading that in the ads the other night in the old book, and it was 10. And listen, if it didn't get big over here on the charts, it did a lot of damage in Europe.
Right.
England, France, Japan. It did a lot of it hit big overseas. So a lot of times when we would go overseas, they would ask us to sing songs like Soul Sister Brown Sugar. What? Wrap it up. What? And we had to, believe it or not, Billy, we had to go back into rehearsal to learn the darn thing. Because people were caught in that, and we overseas in rehearsal learning the songs of Wrap It Up. Can't you find stuff? What the devil? So over here, we didn't have to worry about it. So Sister Brown Sugar, big overseas. Did it do any damage, do anything over here? Not really. No.
I mean, I've heard and read that many African-American artists that went over to Europe in the 60s were surprised at how much better they were treated over there. Did you experience that as well?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, when we first went over with as co-headliners with Otis Redding, we were surprised. We were on stage before Otis went on, and Billy, we were singing Hold On, I'm Coming as our ending when Soul Man and Otis Redding's manager came to the curtain at the end of the curtain and pointed his finger at number one. We had gone number one over there.
Wow.
We were supposed to go to number one over here, but somebody stops us but that's okay. I love her to death. It was Lulu.
Lulu got you good.
Yeah. Let's be fair. If Atlantic had have done their job and got in there and did like they were doing with Aretha, okay? The money that they put out on and did with Aretha, wonderful. But they tell me that the reason is hey, those weren't the times. So that's the way it went down.
Yeah.
And you know what, Billy? I got to tell you something.
Please.
Who controlled that at the time to keep it out of it? And I'm going to be fair to Atlantic and Stax. At the time, records were being played over the radio. You know who controlled that? The disc jockeys.
Yeah.
If Hold On I'm Coming would have come out, I'm not just picking on Hold On I'm Coming, I'm just grabbing a song. And so, man, Hold On I'm Coming was sent to the radio station here. Well, a friend of mine, like Butterball, would have got it sent to him. Now, he's a friend to Henry Stone. Okay. Henry Stone getting his cut. He's doing what he's got to do. He's part of Sam and Dave. He's Ann. Well, when it came down to this, and the disc jockey called you and said, "Hi, Sam. How you doing? Man, I just got your new record today." Really? Yeah. And we went on by that. I like that, Sam. I like that song, boy. And he said, "Thank you." Yeah, man. I thought I'd call you and let you know. You got a hit. You got a hit, boy. Thank you. Yeah, Sam. Sam, guess what? What? I just bought a new car.
Uh-oh.
Watch it, Billy. Watch it, Billy. Just bought a new car. Really? Yeah, I got this bad Cadillac, man. Really? Yeah. The money that I make here at the station, I say to myself, I ain't making that much, but I saved up enough to put a down pay. Listen, Billy, to put a down payment. Yeah, I understand. Now, Billy, what that's got to do with you telling me you like my record? So, Sam, yeah, I can put that thing at number one. I can make it number two, Bill. Sam, could you see your way clear to send me a couple of hundred, maybe, 3 or 4, Well, that went on for forever, for a long time, until we didn't have a record company, record deal, a record company. That went on where the disc jockeys would call me in the middle of the night or call me on the road or find me. And they would just,
Wow.
I was like a dump truck. Yeah.
Wow.
I was sending money. Yeah. And that's what happened, Billy. I'm sharing this with you, my friend. And I'm telling you, that's the truth. That's the way I saw it. Disc jockeys control how far a record could be played. What happening today? I don't know. I don't know nothing about that.
Oh, they just do it different now.
Oh, okay.
Same,
I got you.
Same, but different. Same, but different.
Really?
Oh, yeah. Yes, sir.
Okay. But thank you for enlightening me because I didn't know, man.
What? It's a new century, old problems.
Oh, nothing has changed that much.
Yes and no.
Yes and no. Okay. I got
You're gonna have to feel me on this one.
I feel you.
I'm still out here working singles, brother. I gotta play it straight.
Let's leave it. Let's be honest and leave it alone.
There you go.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
So, growing up in Chicago, like it did, my father loving African American music, and of course, I heard so many of these songs as a kid on the radio. Motown was always presented as the class of this, the what do they call it? Voice of Black America or Young America? I can't remember what the Motown motto was.
America, yeah.
Right?
Young America, yeah. Yeah.
But to me personally, I'm way more into the Stax sound and the Stax story.
Billy, I'm going to do this. When they were trying to find a place for us, a lot of stuff that was introduced to us had we were actually guiding ourselves like Motown, and we were called on the carpet by Jim and Isaac and said, listen, guys, what Motown is doing is Motown. Motown, number one, they have more of a roster than we do. Number two, the way Barry is thinking is not the way we're thinking. Barry has his way of thinking, and Isaac has his way of thinking. Why don't you, Sam, why don't you and Dave concentrate on not how Barry is doing? Stop trying to get into that class and concentrate more on how Isaac is thinking for you guys and you're thinking together. And that's when Isaac and I started sitting at the piano. In some pictures you'll see, not so much am I sitting next to Isaac, but most of the time you'll see me standing almost in front of him or to the side of him, because he was running it down to where he wanted. He was promoting, introducing these songs to us. Now, what I've turned down, some of the songs that were introduced, that came across, yes. Isaac felt though they didn't fit, so they passed on it. There are a lot of songs that came in from other writers. We sung, we did. Not was it going for a hit? Who's Making Love? Yeah, I was supposed to do it, but politics jumped in there somewhere.
Ah, interesting.
Yeah, politics jumped in there, and it was not a Hayes and Porter composition. It was a Homer Banks.
Right.
I was supposed to have done it because I had laid down a track. I had laid down a guide vocal with Homer, with just piano and drum, and the next thing I knew, I heard Johnny Taylor doing it. Which I said, "Wow!" But if you listen to it good, if you know the voice of Homer, it's very clear that he was thanking Sam Moore.
Ah, interesting.
Because it's up there. The song that Johnny is singing is too high for Johnny.
Yeah, right.
If you listen to it good now, because Johnny was in the register of like Sam and Marvin and all these people. And if you listen good, the song that Johnny is, Who's Making Love, the song is too high. And Homer Banks was singing the part that was supposed to have been Dave.
Oh, interesting. Okay, real quick. Yeah. Let me go back to this though. How did you feel about Motown overall? You know, the brand that they were. You know, because a lot of the music was very commercial.
Yeah, I wasn't all that impressed. I liked what I heard, like from Mary Wells. I did. You know, My Guy and stuff like that. I really liked Marvin. I liked the Temps because they had that gospel-y thing. You got what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I love the Tops because of Levi. Boy, could he sing? And I was going like, whoa, this man.
What a voice,
what a voice. And I found out that a lot of stuff, what I'm thinking I like, Barry almost didn't let it come out.
Interesting.
Because that was not his vision. Yeah, a lot of the stuff that Marvin did, he wasn't all that pleased with.
Interesting. So to compare that then to
Yeah,
Stax was because you were talking about Isaac Hayes, was his vision maybe to present a more authentic voice of soul
yeah,
music?
yeah. His vision was to make a combination. The way I was told, and it's hearsay, the way I was told is that he wanted to reach a whiter audience. He wanted to get the young white audience.
Interesting.
And,
But without
and that
more authentic soul music.
right.
Interesting. I've been reading Booker T's book, and he talks about whatever happened in 1968 with the change of ownership of Stax, that things really
Yeah,
started to change at Stax. Did you feel that as well?
I was going.
Oh,
I
you're
was
gone by
watching the
then.
other. Yeah, I was going by that, and I did hear him speak about that. I was gone about that time.
But it was about that time you guys now kind of get moved over to Atlantic, right? And Jerry Wexler is now
Well, we were
producing you.
pulled back. We were.
Billy, when the deal collapsed, Sam and Dave were never signed directly to Stax. They were loaned out. The deal that they had and their contract was always with Atlantic. So when the deal ended, they got pulled back, and they wouldn't let at Stax. They wouldn't let Isaac continue writing or working with
Wow.
them.
No,
It was a
no.
complete. It was a complete because of the masters and all of that stuff.
Yeah,
It was ugly. It was
Wow.
ugly, Billy. Yeah, Billy.
so there was no recourse.
Yeah, it was Billy. It was. I mean, even to the point of having Wexler sending us down to muscle shows. It didn't work. Nobody really knew how to record us. The way we were singing, and the way I was singing and stuff like that, they wouldn't have recorded us that way. Like Isaac had a monopoly on Sam Moore. He had, I'm telling you the truth. Isaac Hayes had it without knowing it. He had got, if anybody else got y'all, they're not going to record you this way. And we recorded with other labels and stuff like that. We recorded with United Artists. Now they had some good stuff I had some good stuff on United Artists, some covers and some writers stuff. I really liked the stuff coming out of United Artists. I liked those songs. Did they promote it? No. I liked some of those things that was done by King Curtis with me. Was that promoted? No. Because you know why? I was a junkie.
When you say you're a junkie, when did the drug problem start for you in this story?
1960, 67, 68.
Was it just life on the road, or what led you into that life?
It was the Willie John thing that started it out in New York. I was in New York at the Apollo. He had just come out of prison. Bobby Schiffman had got him out, and he was on the shows of Sam and Dave. I didn't know, Billy. I didn't know. I had never, living in New York, you see stuff, and there were times that you pass by in Harlem, you see junkies on the street. Never would I have imagined being in that position or being like that. I remember the first time Willie John was at Wilt Chamberlain, who used to play basketball, his club called Wilt. I was at his club, and I remember that Willie John walked in and told me to come to the bathroom. And I went to the bathroom, and he pulled this little package out. And what he did, Billy, he opened this little pouch, and he took out this straw that was cut, and he dipped into this bag and got this powder and stuck it under my nose. What is that? He said, try another one. And he gave me another one in the other nose. nostril. And I didn't like that because it burned first time. And as I was going home that night in New York, I was living in New York on 107. As I was going home that night, I threw up. I threw up, Billy. I threw my guts up. And after I threw up and threw my lunch and my dinner, my lunch and my breakfast up, I felt good. And I said, wow, wow, I felt good. I could do things and say things I wanted. I had never been able to do it, but I would ever introduce or say before. I could make love and all that stuff. Whoa, boy. And that was the beginning. That started 15 years, Billy.
Wow. 15 years. How'd you finally get clean?
What happened, Billy? I started ODing 2 and 3 times everywhere I would go after so many years. And I was ODing. And the last time I was with Joyce and I had left Dave. And I had my first job in Texas. And what I had done, slick me, because Joyce said no, slick me, I had gone uptown in Harlem, not here, in Harlem. And I got some dope, and I shot some dope. And what happened, I got on the plane to do my first job alone as a solo artist. And I couldn't make it the opening night.
Wow.
I was sick. Yeah, I OD'd. I had I don't know what you would call it today. Other word, I had a knips. My stomach, my head. You would have recognized that. And Joyce said no, but Joyce called the doctor.
And he wound up in the bathtub in ice.
Wow.
And Billy, I went through back and forth after that 2 or 3 times, and I remember that night, I said, I was in a tub of ice, and I said, you know what? Don't kill my stupid behind. And I can paraphrase that. I said, I'll leave it alone. No more. I won't do it. I won't. Now, yes, I did get up. But you know what? Put people to understand, you go through a struggle day by day. You will recognize that.
Yes, sir.
Billy. You struggle. Your dad was 30. Mine would have been about that. But mine was 15. But I struggled, but I overcome it. And about 42 years, Billy.
Wow.
Billy, I'm going to interject. There's something very important that Sam is missing. What had happened was there was a show, Kelly Lang had a 4:00 news show on NBC in Los Angeles, and they were doing a series on addiction. And I happened to turn in quite by accident. It was a God wink, but quite by accident. They were doing a piece on opiate heroin addiction, and they were talking about this test drug called naltrexone that was being offered at a specific facility in Oxnard. And I picked up the phone, I got the information, called, and was able to get Sam onto the program. He was detoxed successfully and wound up on the naltrexone. But what had happened was when we went to New York, he slipped, and instead of taking the naltrexone, which would have blocked the opiate receptors in his brain, he shot up, then took it, and that's what put him into the spiral on the way to Texas.
Yeah.
But after that, he wound up on naltrexone for about almost a year. A lot of the time he didn't know because I was crushing it and putting it in his food.
Okay.
And he's been sober ever since.
That was it.
God bless.
Yeah.
Sam, I have to go.
Yeah.
I have to go now. Thank you so much for talking to me. It's been such an honor to talk to you about music and your life.
Billy, don't let this be the last time because of that. Billy, let's not use this not to talking. Let's just be friends. How's that?
I love it. I love it, Sam. God bless you both.
I'd like to be your brother. I want to go to some wrestling. I want to go to some wrestling.
I'm gonna take you to some
too.
wrestling, Sam. All right, I gotta go. Lots of love to you both.
I'm gonna hold you to that, Billy. I'm gonna hold you to that.
Okay.
Thank you, Dunn.
Talk to you both soon. Thank you so much.
Thank you, brother.
God bless. Bye bye.
God bless.